XCN to $1 and why that target is too low. This is NC Hammer Crypto. My name's Neil, where we always keep technical analysis short and sweet. And for Mohammed, Crypto, Trum, and Dutch Maroc, saying this is clickbait. For you, 50% of my subscribers came from clickbait. So if you can't beat them, join them. And for Crypto Bug, asking if it's the middle of the night. No, it is not. The amount I talk in the day is about the length of these videos. I whisper so you can listen. And I really don't have the energy to yell for 30 minutes. It's not my nature. We're trading crypto, not emotions. So let's stay focused. We're looking at Bitcoin, and it is holding that upward trend line as expected, which essentially is this area on the orange bars that I have previously placed. So we are kind of expecting a little bit of pullback, maybe a little bit of consolidation before this thing actually starts to take off. But with its push up, the rest of the market will follow. Do we think it'll drop lower, below 108? Highly unlikely. The 200 EMA is very strong and is very close, is more likely to start pushing Bitcoin to new all-time highs. Jumping into XCN. XCN still holding that support on that black upward trend line, and I actually wanted to go over absolutely everything because yes, it was clickbait to get your guys' attention. Is $1 possible? Yes, that is possible. Do I think it's going to go there? It's debatable. Let's go to XCN Crypto. So the all-time high really is up here at 18 cents. Let's draw a line for this 18 cents. This is the all-time high. Typically in crypto, you see it retrace to the all-time highs and then break and potentially double, if not more. And so XCN mainly has to break this black downward trend line, which spans from the very top of the 18 down until the 4 cents where we had some rejection and below. The other trend line we were dealing with is in this area when we draw a downward trend line from this point. Something similar to this. Actually, it would be more so this. This downward black trend line is essentially what we need to break, which would be crossing over the 200 EMA on the daily at the roughly same time. With both of those being underneath the price, it has higher potential to be pushing up towards this previous high, which is right around 0.4 or 0.5 more or less. And the way we'd figure out we might get some resistance on the way up, fib from the top to the bottom, and the 618 is right here at 0.032. So when we break this downward trend line and the 200 EMA, we could see a quick push to 0.032, maybe a pullback, and then a push to 0.04. I could be incorrect, and we could just see that straight shot to 0.04. I believe we will have some retracement at that area, which if you are in profit, I recommend selling a portion and looking at re-entering at a lower price. However, sometimes in this crypto market, my analysis is incorrect and we have a continuation and further push, and it happens in one day. It'll go from 0.04 cents up to 0.07, and you'll miss out. You'll try and buy in at 0.07. You'll get that 30% retrace. Then you'll sell it because you think it'll be game over. We'll get some support and we'll have a continuation upwards. Most people are looking at this area right around 10 cents on the Fibonacci from, the Fibonacci down here. 618's here, but the continuation one is at that 0.048. Beyond that, roughly a 0.07, and then 0.11, 0.15, and all the way back up here, roughly around 0.18. The all-time high is the Fibonacci retracement lines for this previous peak. So we always expect 618, maybe a testing of this downward trend line again before that ultimate push up, or we could just see this thing absolutely take off to the next level. All I can say right now is that If you haven't bought into XCN, it's highly recommendable. It's only a penny. See what you can make out of $1. A lot of us are more in than $1, but I'm not sweating it on the downside. This thing is not going to die. JP Morgan, BlackRock, all those people have been secretly accumulating this, which will probably be my next title. And it's just a matter of time before this breaks this downward trend line and we get over that 200 EMA. We see earlier this week, we immediately tested that 200 EMA yet again, and is weakening this line. Once we can push up and get over that, this is potentially forming a W, breaking that downward trend line. It is off to the races for XCN. I believe October, November are some of the better months. Even if we dig back in Bitcoin, I was looking way back. I had some time lapse here. Oops. Bitcoin accept policy. December, the end of the year. This was Christmas, right when Bitcoin is at 15,000. And everybody was hoping just for it to start pushing up so they could cash out and get their Christmas gifts and not sell at a loss. A lot of people were selling at a loss right before Christmas, and immediately after in the new year it pumped. And then here is October. October had that continuation, major bullish movement. So we can expect some very good gains typically within October and November. The end of the year, sometimes you're in the lows, sometimes you're in the highs. But that's just kind of an example. I did want to bring in XRP as well. This is on Coinbase. I want this XRP. XRP for comparison in XCN. So XCN has this long dead area for, what is that, probably a year. But XRP, everybody who's been holding XRP, congratulations to you as well as congratulations to myself. But XRP was down here right where XCN was, right around a penny. And then it had a major pump within a few days. Pumped about 700%. Who would have thought? That means if it were XCN, it would be 7 cents, right? Similar to XRP. Major retracement, I think it was about 20 to 30%. And we had that consolidation, could not go any lower. The 200 EMA is starting to beat up this CM Guppy, keeping everything above it. And then immediately after, actually there's a major push to about 2,200% before a retracement. And then the final push to around 4,000%, consolidation. And if you did not sell within that entire year, if you were just holding from roughly that penny, we're looking at $3.25, which is about 19,765% gain, about 20,000% from pennies on investments. Then we had the major dead period. XCN. Let's talk about XCN. Can we talk about XCN? Let's talk about XCN. If you were to enter, and we have a similar movement, not saying it's going to be identical to XRP, 600%, that would put us right here at around 7 cents, which we do have this gold bar from previous history back here. We had a little bit of rejection, pushed it down before we had the continuation. 600, then it went to what, about 2,000%? Around 22 cents, which is breaking the all-time high of XCN, right? If we have the 2,000%, come back, retrace on the 18 cents, because you need to test it for support. With that pullback, yes, that is like 400% pullback, consolidation, and then say we do XRP's 20,000%, that would put it at $2. Do I think XCN's going to $2? No, I don't. I don't think XCN's going to $2. It could prove me wrong, but I mean, people should be happy with even a 2,000% gain. People are going to be selling off here at an 800% gain. 8 times your money if they have 20 grand in there. I mean, yeah, you're going to be pretty happy. Are you going to put it back in if it does retracement, or if it continues? Maybe you put it all back in and then it just continues downwards and you lose it all. These are all options, but most people are going to be selling probably around 7 to 10 cents, collect their profit, and then wait for a re-entry or just dance around with the money that they got. But ultimately 18 cents is what needs to be broken to see any further evaluation. And it could potentially, in my opinion, be pushing up to 41 cents, which would be around 3,600% profit before major reduction in price. But I'm not going to lie to you, I'm probably going to be getting out around 7 to 10 cents, waiting to re-enter into XCN, as I'm not going to be accepting a 7 to 10 price point when the all-time high is 18 cents, and I know that is an easy double money, as we have been waiting this out for a while. If you have not been playing it out back here, whenever it was fractions of a cent, you are buying in at a penny, and it has a long way to go. We have seen crypto go from pennies to $3 within a couple of years, like we have seen. I've just shown you an XRP, and it is possible to see XCN hit 18 cents by 2026, or at least the first 2 quarters of 2026. So I'm not saying anything is quick money, but these are roughly my predictions for XCN. Always throwing in Tornado Cash. Look at that support. Oh my God. Look at that support. All right. So that's about as good as it gets. 200 EMA holding upward trend line, holding strong support over that $11 mark, where I was telling you if it breaks that area, you should be entering, and you'd have that nice write up, as well as the possibility to re-enter, as this is considered support. And it's off to the races for Tornado Cash. And for you, those of you who have gotten into Tornado Cash or want to, the reference link is in the description below to trade it on MEXC. And if you use that reference link, you get 10 USDT for free. And so Tornado Cash is definitely one of my go-tos. And sneaking it in there, BNT. Major rejection. I was saying buying within this area. It has pulled back about 20% from its high, but it is testing that 200 EMA. If we can hold above it, the 200 EMA is going to be strong support, starting to push this back into this channel and breaking this downward trend line, being roughly the 4th touch. That breaking will push it back up to the 95 and beyond, all-time high of $20 for BNT. So don't miss out. Good luck, have fun with it, and I will see you on the next one, covering all those other coins in rapid fire.